welcome to another episode of Project Culture Shock on the Braithwaite's World YouTube channel. I'm Tom, and on today's episode we'll be going through making the roll cage / just inner structure for the hot rod body. Some of you may have noticed there's been a bit of a lack of Dan in the last couple of videos. This is just a quick explainer segment to tell you why that is, where he's gone. Dan has gone from the UK across the Atlantic to study in Canada for a year. Dan is currently away studying in Canada. He's really enjoying it, and it's a shame he's not here to help us, but it was an opportunity he couldn't pass up, so that is why he's currently not in the videos. It's only for a year, and I'm sure he'll reappear in future episodes. So here we are, starting the first bends on the main hoop for the roll cage. We've already measured roughly and cut to length a bit of tube. We've cut a longer piece than we need so that we can trim it to fit the body shell. We're using a hand operated 12-ton pipe bender. It's not the best, but it's what we've got, and it does a pretty decent job of getting the results that we need. We're using this bit of wooden worktop as a square. We know it's square, it's not one we've cut and made, it's as it's come. We've checked we checked the corners with a set square as well, so that we know that it is actually 90 degrees. But yeah, we've been using it as a big set square for these bits of hoop. This is again the other bend for the main hoop. Obviously, as you could see, we had it on the floor. You can't see it very well in the video. We chalked out the outline we wanted so that we had a sort of template to work to. We mainly did trial and fitting though. We just used the template on the floor to get the rough size, and then fine tune and tweak it from there. As you can see, the hand operating takes a long time, even with the footage sped up to 5 times what it should be. Of course, there was a lot of trial and error and a lot of times where we'd offer up the hoop and it wouldn't fit, but in the end so with the main hoop sorted out, now starting on cutting holes in the fiberglass for the roll cage to be used to locate the rear stays for the main hoop. Some of the measuring techniques are a bit finger in the wind, but at least it gives us a rough estimate of length of pipe we need to cut, and then we just trim the excess off as and when to get the fit just right. So we joined the roll cage with these small bolt together clamps. We don't want to weld the whole thing in, we want to be able to take it in and out if we need to for whatever reason, so that's why we've made it bolt together. So here we've welded in a new big box section crossmember on the back of the ship. So this is probably one of the few times the body's been back off since we'd started doing all the floor and everything. We're doing this so we've got plenty of access for these roll cage feet that we're starting here. Just got the first sort of plates tacked on to the actual chassis rails themselves. We've also, as you can see, with the body off you can see the metal bulkhead better, and we've put some holes in to feed the wiring through. This is a future job, we've just sort of put it in there to get an idea of where it's going to go, and then as if by magic the roll cage feet have been welded on and ground and the cage bolted onto it. So I've just made these cross tubes. I'll open the holes out in the cross member and then weld them in. These are for to stop the box, well, as the name suggests, crushing. So as you do the bolts up, without the tubes in, the box will squish in the middle. So the tubes stop that happening and add a bit of strength. I realise the video jumps around a little bit. Sometimes I just forget to film stuff. I get so wrapped up in making that I forget to film. So I've made this cross member, and these holes are for the rear roll cage feet to bolt through onto. You've got this outrigger bit that sticks out from the back that supports the tube, and then the crossmember's got the holes for bolting it on. So it's not the typical way of doing things, but with packaging constraints of the body shell and stuff like that, it's what we had to work with. As you can see, I've chamfered the holes, just put a little angled edge on them. This is so I've got a bit more of a pocket to weld into, so the tubes are, you know, better welded to the cross member. It just makes the weld that much stronger than just two butted up edges. It also means I should get, you know, a better penetrating weld, again allowing for just more strength. Also means that when I grind them flat, so when I take the tops off, there's still plenty of weld holding the tubes in place. So just a quick overview of the cage. We've got some box section triangular bracing in the top, and then a crossbar that bolts in across the back. We've added in this box section cross member along here, just to give us somewhere to mount the back of the cage to. The reason that the bolts are not right by the tubes is drill access and being able to get them in and out when the body is in place. Cut these bits of plate out, and they're going to be used to reinforce the underside of the cross member, where the bits I've welded on that the roll cage tube sits on is just the minute they're just held on with weld, and it's just in one plane, so it's, you know, it's unlikely to shear off. But if I can spread the force, any pushing down force into the cross member through these, then just makes it that little bit stronger. Now, as you can see, I've marked some circles. These are the rough sort of centres for this hook. The reason for this is these are going to double, as well as reinforcing the cross member, they're going to double as towing eyes. We're not planning to put this into a ditch, but should the situation occur, at least we've got a way of recovering it. Or strapping it down to a trailer. It just gives us a few options. Please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest episodes of The Build.